if you can hear me, but I just paid $6.71 for a coffee. I don't even like coffee. I just got one because I'm bored and I have to wait 2 hours for my flight to board. Ridiculous. Talk about inflation. This is why we need crypto. All right, I'm staying at the Park Hyatt in Sydney and I have to give you a tour of this room. They just brought to the door. I have to show you a chocolate Easter egg because I'm here over the Easter weekend, but I don't know if I can actually eat this because I'm on a 2-week trial of no dairy to see if I have any allergies. So this might just have to come home with me. All right, so let's catch up since my last vlog, because in my last vlog I was in quite an emotional state and I had some big decisions to make. And I decided to make them. So between the last holiday getaway and now, I let go of the past, something that I was a part of, and decided to go out on my own. So I obviously had my YouTube channel for a long time. That brought me a lot of joy, but I really struggled being consistent on YouTube, having so many other responsibilities, but it was the thing that I enjoyed. So I kind of had to, I guess reevaluate where I was spending my time and if it was the right place for me to be to reach my goals. So anyway, in the end, obviously, decided that wasn't it, decided to leave, was going to take a break for a while. But then a lot of rumors started going around about where I might go next and whatnot. And it wasn't obviously true because I'm not anywhere else but here. And the break ended up being a lot shorter than I expected. But April 1st, I decided to launch my own thing and, be able to teach people my trading style from scratch, the way that I believe people really should trade. And, I battled for a long time. Do I have to do what everyone else does? And then I just thought all I really have to do is be true to what I truly believe and pass on that message and be authentic, and it will naturally grow. I don't have the time or the patience or the desire to teach things that I don't believe in. I did a post on social media the other day saying that trying to learn to trade without understanding what actually makes the market move is like driving a car and not knowing what the gas pedal does. Like, you're just so blinded if you don't really take a look, a deep dive, a deep look into who are you playing against. It's a bit of a wake-up call when you take the time to really understand who you're playing this game against. And, there's a reason that they say 95%, I think it is, of people will fail at trading, and that's because of that exact reason. They never take the time to really think about what is it that makes these markets move. They just think, if I draw a trend line and support and resistance, like apparently that's it. Apparently that's not it. Like, that's not it. Can tell you with certainty. So anyway, my goal for April, once I decided to do my own thing, My goal was to get, by the end of April, have 100 people join the first class section of my Discord, which is where I actually do lives and actually really teach the market maker method in depth in combination with my heat maps and the liquidation software and all of the other things that I have added to the market maker strategy to make it work really well for me. And yeah, I thought, if I can get 100 people into that section, then my decision will have been worth it. And so it was my goal to get that by the end of April. I smashed that before the first week of April was even over, which was crazy. And another goal of mine was to get 5,000 subs on YouTube by the end of April. Done that already as well. So yeah, I'm really feeling good. I feel like the rewards are on the other side of your fear. So for me, I hesitated a lot to do something new, but the second that I did, the universe rewarded me for that courage. So let that be a lesson to you if you're in two minds about doing something with your life, if where you are now doesn't feel right in your gut to be there, or you don't feel that it's where you can grow, whether it's a career, relationship, whatever, state, country that you live in. If it doesn't feel right, then you have to listen to that gut feeling. And as scary as it is, you have to just take that leap of faith and trust that the universe has got your back. And that's where I got to in the end anyway. So I'm telling you from the other side, if there is something that you have a burning desire to do and you're not doing it, and it makes you sick in your gut to sit still and not grow, go grow, because it's really worth it on the other end. So yeah, that's been my update since my last vlog. But now I want to talk about the market this week, because we've learned a lot of lessons this week as well. So this week that I'm filming, I don't know when I'm going to upload this, but we headed into the Easter weekend. So we have to consider that things play out differently when we're going into a long weekend. So a couple of lessons that were learned inside of the TTC community this week that I'll share with you was, if you're watching my videos, my market updates, this week we were waiting for a W breakout. A W breakout leads into a level 1, 2, and 3 rise usually. And in between those rises, they can consolidate, which I call the boardroom, because the consolidation period is where the market maker is sizing up his position, looking at his P&L, looking where the liquidity is, testing both sides with little wicks to the downside, wicks to the upside. He's just playing a game in order to see where he can move the market next to make the most money, right? So I call it the board meeting, because that's what he's doing. He's making a big decision to hurt us all. So there was a few lessons that we learned inside the community this week, and here they are. So the first lesson was, we had 2 news plays this week. Now, news plays serve as an excuse for the market maker to move price in a direction that he was planning to move in anyway, but the news just helps him get away with it, right? So he starts the ball rolling, and then that has a flow-on effect of retail panicking, and that's usually when you see, either big spikes or big drops. So we had 2 of those this week, and that was lesson number 1. One of them led to a breakout, one of them led to a pretty big drop. Lesson number 2 was, all week we're waiting for a W formation. I covered it on my market updates during the week. You can see them there before they played out. We ended up having a trick W formation, which again, when it was happening in the moment, I was skeptical, and I did post that in my market updates on this channel, that I was skeptical that what looked like a W was a real W, and it turns out it wasn't the real W in the end, because then we got the real W, right? So we got the real W, and then that led to the level 1 rise, and we had a really good long trade out of that. However, we then went into the board meeting, and I think the lesson here was, people just learning this system thought that the level 1, 2, and 3 rise means that price is going to increase 3 times, and it doesn't. A level 2 and 3 rise can keep price in the same position. So you can have a level 1 rise, go into the board meeting, consolidation, have a level 2 rise, have a retracement, and then go into level 3. So the retracement would bring price back a little, and then level 3 could take it back to where the top of level 2 was. Now that actually could happen in level 1, 2, and 3. So that would mean if you were to hold through all of that because you think that the W formation trade that you got in on is going to rise 3 times, you could end up getting out at the same price, but it just took you longer to get there, which is just a waste of time, right? So we never hold trades through the board meeting. And this is a big lesson that the guys in my Discord learned this week, was we don't hold trades through a board meeting. So the W's done almost a full retracement, and now we've gone into the long weekend, and is a level 2 or 3 rise going to come from here? Probably not. Like, we'll probably do nothing for the whole weekend. We might have fake outs here and there, and it'll just be very tricky or very boring to trade. Like, what's the point? You got to live your life. You got to have fun. You got to go away, spend time with family, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, big lesson was make sure it's a real W this week. Be aware of news plays that can send the market in weird directions, and never hold your trade through the board meeting. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're like, I have no idea what language you just spoke, I don't blame you. A lot of these words I make up myself, but basically my trade style is I learnt the market maker method because, to me, I just got curious early on in my trading career to learn what actually makes price move as opposed to just standard TA. Because if everybody's doing standard TA, then if we're all looking at the same thing, how does the price go the opposite way, right? I was always really curious about that. So I dove pretty deep into figuring out who actually moves the markets, came across the market maker method, and that has worked for me. No matter what time frame I trade, whether I feel like scalping today or swing trading or position trading, doesn't matter. I can always find that method on whatever time frame. And then once I really realized that the market can only move in extreme directions like that when there is liquidity available for the market maker to take, and that liquidity is created by retail's stop losses and liquidation levels, I realized I needed to know where those were. So when you see those funny charts on my channel that are all pink and blue, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking where the liquidation levels are, and then the heat map shows me where limit orders are placed in the book, and that's been a game changer. They say that technical analysis is a representation of what has happened in the past, but heat maps are a representation of what is likely to happen in the future. So once I learned that, I was like, well, I want to know what's happening in the future because that's where I'm trading, right? So my actual trade style is a combination of the market maker method, understanding liquidation levels behind the scenes, and using heat maps as well. So if you're keen to learn all of those things, then I do those in my Discord. I teach all of that in my Discord. The live sessions are only in first class. So best time to join my Discord is at the start of a month, by the way, because Patreon charges you when you join, and then it charges you on the 1st of every month. That's just the way they do it. So if you join on the 28th, then you're going to get charged on the 28th, and then again on the 1st. So always best to join at the beginning of a month. All right, I need to love and leave you because I need to work now on a presentation for an event that I'm speaking at in a couple of weeks. And I also really want to take advantage of that bath and just relax for the evening. the view from the rooftop pool and spa. I'm going to take you outside and show you what that looks like now. Yesterday, writing out my speech for a event that I'm speaking at next month, and I wanted to cover the 3 things that I care about most in crypto, and I've got to try and do that in 90 minutes. So when it comes to wealth creation, the 3 things that I care about most, so they are, number 1 is understanding where you are in the financial ladder and where you want to be, because if you get that first, then you can close the gap sooner and you can get from A to B much sooner. So there's 7 rungs to the financial ladder, and you don't have to get to all of them. Like, some people will be just happy at financial security, some people want to get higher up the ladder. Like, it's really individual, but you need to know where you are now and where you want to be. Otherwise you can't bridge the gap. So that's the main thing. And once people get there, then we can then work on the strategy to actually get you from where you are now to where you want to be. So then that becomes the second thing that I care about most in crypto wealth creation. And I like to set people up in a way to do that in 2 ways. Right? So obviously I focus a lot on trading because that's the fastest way to accumulate wealth once you get good at it, right? But the problem is that it can take years to get good at it, especially if you don't work on your psychology around money. But once you do get good at it, and if you can remain consistent, then it's the easiest way to make money. But in the meantime, whilst you're going through that phase of making the mistakes, if you set yourself up with something passive that is forgivable, right, then it helps you when making those mistakes to feel like, well, at least I'm creating wealth in this other area that is fairly passive and, I don't have to get emotional about. So it allows you to take time to get great at trading. Whereas I find most people rush trying to get great at trading because they have no other plan. So my number 2 and 3 goals, they kind of tie in together, which is setting yourself up with a really good passive income plan. And then on top of that, by doing that, you allow yourself the time to become a great trader, because the pressure's off now because you've got something that's building for your future, right? So I do that through DeFi and high interest earning platforms and whatnot. But I use it in 2 ways. Number one is a hedge. So when we're in a bear market, I've got stable coins earning interest. So that acts as a hedge, and I don't, my whole account doesn't drop by 40% overnight, which can happen if everything you hold is just in Bitcoin. The income that you create from your passive wealth crypto strategy using stable coins only, given the right amount of time, can fully replace your current income, whether your income comes from running a business or, being employed or whatever it comes from. The goal for a stable coin strategy should be to replace your income, right? So no matter what happens, we've all been through the big C in the last couple of years. So no matter what happens that's environmental that could affect your ability to make income, it doesn't matter, because you have this safety net that has already replaced it, right? So when you have that, again, the pressure then gets released and you can take your time getting great at trading because you have a safety net. So all of that is actually built out in full in a course that I'm working on at the moment, which is called 𝗟𝗶𝗿𝗃, which if you want to register your interest for that, you can do that on my website. But that course is it's a whole ecosystem of how to use stablecoins and DeFi to generate high interest. And I'm talking not just 20% on Anchor, I'm talking, 30, 40, 50, sometimes higher, just using stable coins with the right strategy to get you there much faster. So like, if you ever listen to Tony Robbins, he always says that you need, what does he say? You need $2 million in assets earning on average 10% a year to make 200K a year that you can live off, right? But using crypto, you don't need 2 million, you need like 250K. Like, it's crazy. Like, the opportunities that are available in crypto outside of just trading are crazy. And most people spend so much of their time just trying to become really good at trading that they don't see all these other things. And you know, what made me relax with my trading was setting up a passive income plan, because like I said, it gave me the time to then get really good at trading. And when you have the time, it's just better for your emotions. You're not rushing things and, you know, all that kind of stuff. You don't have FOMO. You're not like, I need to make this money fast because, you know, there's something else going on in the background. Like, you don't even force trades because you're like, well, it doesn't matter if I miss this run, there's always going to be another trade. It just helps you with all your emotions if you get that right. So that's the second part of my speech, the opportunities that are available in crypto whilst we have them. Because, you know, like if you're in the US, you know, like Celsius just got taken away from you. It's just crazy. Like, how does earning interest on crypto that you plan on holding anyway, how do you need to be protected from that by, you know, the government? Like, are you serious? Like, that's just going to make people instead turn to trading to make the money there, because now they don't have the option to earn interest. It's silly. Like, and you know, America always does things first. So stupid rules like that will probably come to other countries as well. So you got to take advantage of these things whilst they're there. So anyway, that's number 2. And then from there, you know, we want to learn to trade the right way, which, you know, I talk about a lot, is like, we have to learn who's moving the market and then try to trade along with them, as opposed to, you know, trading against them, because their goal is always to take our money, right? And they've got much more capital than we do, so they can do it easily. I need to stop for a second so I can do my lips. Okay, I'm back. So anyway, that's what it is. So it's called Money in Motion, and that's what it's going to be. Understanding the financial ladder, understanding where you are on the financial ladder, where you want to be, and then how to bridge the gap through using DeFi and interest earning platforms and things like that, using stable coins to earn high interest to get you stable income fast that replaces your income, whilst also building a long-term crypto wealth portfolio that will, you know, act as a retirement plan in the future. Geez, I'm good at turning this mutton into lamb, aren't I? And then on top of that, to accelerate those profits, learning to trade the right way so that you can take those profits and just keep funneling them into your passive income strategy, and then also your long-term crypto wealth plan strategy that you don't cash out until you're ready to actually retire. I've got to get all that done in 90 minutes. So leave me a comment below. Let me know if that is something that you would like to hear spoken about if you were at a crypto event. All right, I have to go get changed and get ready for lunch. I'll be back.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Said I'm again, we gotta go. Take one, then I dash away from pole. Yeah, snakes around my grass, they want my dough.
My kinesiologist told me I need to have this 3 times a day and honey 3 times a day, because I have a cough that I've had for months that won't go away. It's so disgusting. Now for the honey. It's down. The good thing is it's working. Like, my cough is actually getting better. It used to take me so long to edit my videos to get my market updates up in the morning. Now I'm down to like 2 coughs per session. So I'm sticking with the pain in order to get better. And to be honest, it's actually one of the reasons I stopped going live on YouTube, because I just couldn't control my cough. So yeah, I'm close to cured. Let me know, would you like me to go live again? Maybe once a week or something like that. We can do an actual live TA session. Yeah, let me know if that's of interest. I'll figure it out. All right, it's time to leave Sydney. I've had an amazing weekend, but it's time for me to get back home and get back to work. So, peace out, Sydney.